Cats are such social, beautiful, wonderful creatures. They're like children, you know? And, you know, like unlike dogs, you know, they form communities, you know, that we are responsible. We're responsible for them.
Hello, my name is Brooke Harrison. I'm the president of Purr. I'm a senior and I'm majoring in ecosystem science and policy and marine affairs. So I first got involved with Purr as a freshman when I saw a little tabby cat by Purr-sistence, and I was looking for resources as to how to help the kitten because I worked at a vet in high school and I could tell the mom wasn't caring for it, and I wound up finding Purr in the process. Purr has the goal overall of caring for the cats on campus. We have a foster program, we have a feeding program, so for the feeders they feed usually in the morning and night, and they take care of a specific colony. And then for the foster program, if any of the cats are really friendly, we have foster applications and match people with the cat that would make the most sense for their lifestyle. Based on working with the feeders, there had been an alarming amount of cat deaths on campus. I mean, people have been feeding for 25 plus years, so it was clear that something was wrong and something was happening. So we contacted UMPD, we got involved with the Assistant Chief State Attorney, and we've been raising a lot of awareness about this issue, and since we've gone public with the issue, there hasn't been an incident. So although we haven't reached a conclusion yet, it did help by going public.
My name's Caroline Val. I am one of the news editors here at the Miami Hurricane. I have been following Purr for a really long time just because I'm kind of a cat lover. Like, I have a cat back home, and I started following them maybe about a year ago on Instagram just because I saw that you could foster cats or adopt cats. And I saw, maybe it was last month or a couple months ago at this point, that Purr posted this graphic saying, you know, we're sorry to break this to our community, but we're in the middle of an animal cruelty investigation. And this is a spreadsheet of like all the documented cat injuries that have happened on campus and cat deaths, and it's only happened in the span of a year. I decided to DM the page like as soon as I saw the post, and I said, hey, I'm one of the news editors for the Miami Hurricane. I would really love to bring this piece to our platform if you'd be willing to speak with me or speak with some of us, and that kind of thing. So that's how it kind of all started. Yeah. One of their feeders actually made it known that she saw certain men wearing matching t-shirts with nets around one of these areas where the cats were hanging out. And she noticed that they were kind of looking around at the cats and pointing at them and stuff like that, so she went up and confronted them. Basically, when she asked what they were doing around the cats, they said they were actually trapping ducks. She was like, well, it's also illegal to trap ducks, like you can't be doing that. Basically, he said they have like some sort of place for the ducks. I don't know what it was, but basically that was the only sort of lead. And there were also like animal advocacy pages in Miami kind of talking about whether or not, you know, just speculation about whether or not they were duck trappers or cat trappers or, you know, who these men were. What we did find, while doing this piece, we had one of our photographers go out to take like, you know, pictures of cats or something like that, just to kind of post a photo with the follow-up. And they actually found a dead duck with a localized wound. So it looked like it was human inflicted. So either way, whether or not they were hired by the university or whether or not they're just acting independently, or whether or not it's these contractors, it's clear that there's something unethical going on.
The cat murders are very disturbing. I mean, to deliberately murder an animal, especially a community animal, you know, is very, it's horrific. I had 2 black cats here on where I live on my island. One of them was mine, one was a neighbor, that disappeared right before Halloween, 2 black cats. And so it's kind of well known among community cat people, like you have to protect, especially protect the black cats. Cats are thought to be bad luck, they're thought to be evil, which is just so far from, far from the truth. I think that has a responsibility to find out who is doing this. And if it's not for ritualistic purposes, if it's a student, that's even more disturbing. That this is kind of like a prelude step to other types of killings, that's kind of like well documented. So either way, whoever's doing it, we need to, needs to find out.
We've been trying to reach out to UMPD and we haven't necessarily been getting answers. We've asked them to look into video footage and everything like that, but every time we ask them to look at video footage, they wait long enough to where that footage is automatically erased. It just doesn't make sense why they wouldn't give us any answers. I mean, obviously somebody who's a threat to animals is a threat to students and a threat to, the university community at large. So I'm not entirely sure why they would keep something like that under wraps if they do know something.
I personally don't think that the university is involved with the deaths. We do have the university on our side at this point, and hopefully if we were to report another incident, they would get right on it and look at the footage and maybe even potentially let us look at the footage just to confirm that nothing's there. Also, UPerr as an organization is going to implement in the near future something called the Guardian program, where students can actually get involved and look over a specific cat or a specific colony and make sure nothing's happening and they all look healthy and none of them are missing.
We don't have packs of wild dogs around Miami, but we do have just huge amount of feral cats. And there's a responsibility where neighbors have to come in and they have to neuter them and spay them, but also, taking care and making sure that they're not harmed. So I feel like the campus, the University of Miami, beyond the student associations, needs to take responsibility, with the cats that are on campus. Because you're never going to get rid of them. Cats show up. They come. Feed them and they will come. That's what happens. So I think that the University of Miami needs to take responsibility as well. It's important to take care of them and feed them and love them and cherish them as, high angels. They're angels. That's how I view them.